From Apptendo, what are your thoughts on Ron Paul? Ron Paul, for those who may not know, is a libertarian Republican who supports free market and free society. However, he also buys into and even propagates unfounded conspiracy theories. He's real buddy-buddy with the 9/11 truthers. Overall, I hold him in higher regard than I do most politicians, but I still don't really care for him. Next question's from Raven Blaze. Have you been touched by the noodly appendage of God, the flying spaghetti monster? And if so, what is your favorite type of brand brew of the Holy Spirits? Sure, yeah, I've been touched by his noodly appendage. I prefer Dos Equis. I also like Shiner Bock and Abita Amber, both of which are local beers, one from Shiner, Texas, the other from Abita Springs, Louisiana. Question from Guinea Pig Dan. What are your favorite comic strips? I've never really gotten into reading comic books. If I had to choose one, I would choose the Bleach manga. I know it's not Marvel or DC, but that's the only one I've really read a lot of. I'm a big fan of the show, which when I saw the manga in a Barnes & Noble's one day, I just picked it up, started reading it. I've read the first 13 books of the English translation out of some, I think, 32 or so. Alright, next question is from Homo Cyborg Zombie. Crazy 316's Nightmare. Anyway, he asked a question about what are my thoughts on how the world works, Shane DK, climate denial, and the smug fagness of the aforementioned gentleman. Okay, in terms of how the world works, he's a Republican Party activist who gets his salary from a conservative think tank. At least I'm pretty sure that's his deal. I saw a video where he explained himself 6 or more months ago. My memory might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's his deal. His complete denial of global warming and his general partisanship on many issues are a product of his employment situation. But, let me be clear, that's not an excuse. I look at how the world works in much the same light as I view Glenn Beck. I was once a fan, but I'm not really a fan anymore. Some level of partisanship is to be expected in politics, especially in American politics, but at the level they practice it, it's really a put-off for me. As for Shane DK, I really don't associate him much with how the world works. Rather, I think of him as more of an older, better informed, if somewhat less diplomatic form of myself. If he's a smug fag, then I guess I must be a smug fag. And for that matter, most people on YouTube are probably smug fags. This ties into the expected level of partisanship that you encounter in politics. Now, someone who has the strength of their convictions can either be self-confident or they can be arrogant, and most people draw the line between those two most often according to whether or not they agree with the speaker's politics to begin with. As for Shane DK's position on global warming, I understand it to be close to my own position. I believe global warming is a fact. Humans are a contributing factor. However, I don't think the world is in danger of cooking in the next decade or so. I don't think humans are the original cause or even the primary contributor. I think we should be good stewards of our environment. We should seek clean energy alternatives. However, I don't think that government schemes are the answer. Instead of raising taxes so that the government can subsidize clean energy alternatives, why don't we lower taxes and end currently existing government subsidies for fossil fuels? How about, instead of pouring taxpayer money into both sides, let's take big oil off the life support so that it can die like it should in the free market. Lastly, you cited a video where you claim Shane said that there was no evidence for global warming, but in fact what he said was the EPA was raising unreasonable emission standards without basing those standards on evidence, which is what he was saying, and it's not to say that is not to say that there's no evidence for global warming. Oh, and one more thing that Zombie asked was, what do you think about Cockfail? Molotov, I think Coughlin already spoke for me more or less. I didn't really watch the dude's videos too much, which is probably wrong of me. Next question's from Karin Mikazuki. Would you consider having a debate with Shock of God? Also, would you make me a sandwich and kiss me on the cheek? Okay. I'll debate Rush Limbaugh about whether or not waterboarding is torture. I'll debate Sean Hannity about whether or not the U.S. was founded on a Judeo-Christian ethic. I'll debate Keith Olbermann about whether or not PMSNBC is nothing more than a Fox News of the left, but with lower ratings. I'll debate President Obama face-to-face about whether or not his stimulus bill has done any good to fix the economy. I'll debate Crazy316 about whether or not homosexuals deserve equal rights. In fact, I've already done a month-and-a-half-long exchange with him last summer to that effect. I'm even willing to discuss the merits or lack thereof of creationism or evolution with any of the creationists here on, well, almost any creationists here on YouTube. But I will not debate shock on any issue for the same reason I would not debate the existence of Santa Claus with an 8-year-old. His arguments are repetitive, consistently fallacious. He is a partisan hack at the level to make any of the men I have previously mentioned blush, and he has zero credibility, and I would only end up being called childish names for my effort, just as he coined the term stutterfoot and is currently celebrating the so-called cowardice of Don Exodus. It doesn't matter who is right. You can't win with someone who has the IQ and the debate tactics of a preschool playground bully. As for the sandwich, sure, why not? Magnuslan, can I make you an intro? Other than that, Batman or Superman? Sure, just send me the finished product and I'll take a look. And then for your second question, Batman, the Libertarianist. How do you feel to have 249 subs after this video was posted? Your second question, which direction on the political compass do you think the United States is drifting? And how do you think the internet is influencing popular opinion? I think the U.S. is trending left libertarian. As a result of the downturn in the economy, people are being swayed by the golden promises of socialism, and in turn, socialists have been able to involve the government even deeper into controlling the marketplace. However, there's good news. When it comes to social freedoms, a lot of libertarians and even conservatives that I know are becoming fed up with the Republican Party, and when they stop pulling the party line, support for the Patriot Act and opposition to rights for homosexuals are some of the first things to disappear. People like Crazy316 are a dying breed, and we are strengthened by his loss. And I think the internet plays a role in that, though not as big as we internet people would like to say it is. Your last question, who's your favorite YouTuber? I don't really have a favorite, but of the 400 plus people I'm subbed to, whenever Juno's Den or Voodoo 6 have a new video in my sub box, I always click on it.